How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and today, ladies and gents, we're going to talk about Nergigante, or Nerg for short. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I think that's about right. Regardless, he was the extra character, I guess you could say, that was available to fight on the third and final Monster Hunter World beta. Now, I'll humbly admit that I actually did not have lots of time with this beta. Between life and me becoming sick and a whole bunch of other IRL things, I literally didn't have time to really play the game up until the final day. I did get a chance to play it like 2 matches on a Friday, but then after that it was right back to your world being ruled by other responsibilities. But regardless, not to get into that, that's not important. What is important is that I feel as if this guy is actually pretty solid. Now, he's one of the few monsters in this game that's even worth anything that doesn't actually have an elemental kind of thing about them. He doesn't have a breath of sorts, no fire, no status or anything like that. He's very reminiscent to that of Diablos and Monoblos, where they just beat you up. And I'm a big fan of that. I've always been a huge fan of, like, just, yo, I'm a monster, you're a hunter, you're in my space, I'm going to beat you up relentlessly. There's no flashiness to him, it's just come and get these weapons, you know. Now granted, he does have the ability to grow and then also fling spikes from his body, and he can use that to actually hurt you and the rest of your party. But other than that, that's practically it. Now, before I go any further, I will note one thing. There's no game audio, simply because, well, if you saw the little icon pop up in the top left corner, I forgot that whenever you plug in your headset into your controller when you play the PlayStation 4, all audio gets stripped from the recording line, and the only audio that's actually available is in your ears. So that was dumb on my part. I forgot all about that. I don't know why, but I want to have my headset on, and I don't know, whatever. But the music isn't that grand anyway. His music is kind of meh. But anyway, as it continues, today we're using the Gunlance. Now, the Gunlance has always been a weapon that I've always liked to really use. And for the most part, I don't necessarily like to use Gunlances on monsters who I feel have not necessarily a high mobility, but if they can stop me from, I guess, guarding competently, then I'm not very comfortable using it. Simply because, well, there's no guard in the demo, and I can't necessarily block all of his attacks, because a lot of his attacks do a lot of knockback and chip damage. But I was just going against, you know, the grain, what I normally do, and just trying to have fun with it. And truth be told, he is a fun hunt. You know, I used practically every weapon. Yes, practically every weapon, and with my brief time with the beta, to fight this guy, and we won a very large portion of these hunts. Now, there was only a few that we did lose, where we only had 3 people and we ran out of time. There were a couple of times where we actually just fainted out or carded out or got all 5 of the cards and couldn't actually, you know, complete the quest that way. But all in all, very solid fight, very tough monster to fight. I'll admit, you know, like, I was thinking, okay, this guy, he's gonna be a pushover. He's not quite the pushover, you know what I mean? He really stands his ground. I mean, you can look at his very threatening demeanor, and you can tell right off the jump that he's a very tough guy. And, you know, he doesn't disappoint in that regard. So Capcom, thank you for designing a monster who looks as mean as it actually is. So that's another bonus. Now, the one thing I will take away from him, though, is that his roar is very puny. Okay, I will say this confidently, that his roar gets no marks. Okay, none. Very puny roar. If anything, it sounds like a big cat. Like if a cat was able to, like, meow really loud, that's kind of what it would kind of sound like. But then, I don't know, put it through a filter of, like, trying to sound like a monster, and bam, like, there's nothing significant. Like, I would think a monster like this, it would have, like, this deep blood curdling roar. Not at all. I mean, I wouldn't even honestly be afraid of this guy if he roared. If he roared, I'm like, if I didn't see him and I just heard the roar, I'm like, yo, who is that? You know what I mean? And then I turn around, I'm like, oh, it's you. Then I would fear for my life. But all in all, solid fight. Really solid fight. The one thing I really like about him is the fact that his spikes, they do grow back. You can break them, causing him to not necessarily be unable to throw spikes. But when you break his spikes, you break the spikes, and then you show better hit zones for you to actually hit your weapon, hit him with. So, for instance, like his arms, heavily spiked, his wings heavily spiked. When the spikes are white, if you break them off, you'll probably have a lesser chance of bouncing off of him. Because one thing that I really found very annoying was that if you do not control these spikes, you will be bouncing quite a lot. Especially with the Gunlance here, I was bouncing quite a bit. I was actually getting a little frustrated on the stream until someone broke it down to me. It was like, yo, Dak, if you actually break the spikes, then you can free those hit zones up and you can actually do a little bit more damage. And you'll be able to actually pierce him even though your weapon kind of slides into yellow. Because I mean, with the Gunlance, it's kind of par for the course. You let off a couple of shells and boom, before you know it, you went from like white sharpness to green sharpness in like a flurry of 30 seconds. But all in all, really solid. You know, I can't really say too much else about the guy. I wish I could have had a few more chances rather to play with him. I only got to fight him. I gotta fight him about maybe 10 times, but only like a span of 3 hours. And usually, I don't know about you guys, but whenever it comes to me fighting and learning a monster, I can't learn everything in one day. Even if I fight him for like 10 hours. I can fight him for about 10 hours, and then if I go to bed or whatever, I sleep on it. Come back, and then fight him again. Like, it's like leveling up, personally. Like, I gain all the experience points that I can gain for the day. I go to sleep, wake up, and now I'm level 2. If you guys ever played Oblivion, it's kind of like that. In that game, you can only level up once you go to sleep. But if you don't want to go to sleep, that's fine. But that's kind of how I feel when it comes to this guy. So I really feel like I can learn a lot more about him, maybe fight him a little bit better, because I never actually got a chance to solo him, which was a bummer. I really wanted to really test, not necessarily my metal, because I already know I'll admit, I'm pretty nice, okay? We all know you boys pretty nice. But I wanted to see how well my pretty niceness would fare against this guy, especially when he definitely has the air of monster that normally give me a lot of trouble with my lances. Monsters that are relatively akin to Tigrex and the like, simply because they attack with such ravenous intent, you know? So normally that gives me a bit of a problem when it comes to lancing, because especially in the beta, if I can't block efficiently, then I'm not really doing it too well. Because I mean, yes, they gave the lance a lot more evasive options, but it's still not enough compared to literally weapons that, well, you can actually roll with. I mean, the dodge roll right there in and of itself is more evasive than anything the lance can actually ever get. If they give the lance an actual dodge roll, then the lance be on par with everyone else on mobility. But I mean, they did give us a front hop and a couple other things, so it's a step in the right direction for sure, no pun intended, but not quite the same flavor. But again, like I said, I wanted to solo him, never really got a chance to do so. But I kind of feel as if I did solo him, I probably wouldn't win right away. It would definitely be like a learning kind of thing, but I kind of feel like I might would have won on like maybe the second or third try, and which is kind of weird for me, because I'm usually really good at like beating monsters off the rip, but after even fighting them with a team of people, helping them get their combination awards, because every time you beat once you beat him, you get some award packs that you're actually going to be someone is touching my spaghetti, but you're going to receive when you get the full game for Rizzle. So I was just really helping people out with that for the most part, because I mean, like, I honestly feel like that's my lot in life. You know, I am the everyman, but I'm here to help all. So truth be told, I'm not really the most skillful hunter. I'm really not. I think I'm pretty good. Like, if there was like, yo, Dax, solo this guy, I can do it. But my role is to just help other people, and I mean, I'm okay with just doing that. But as it stands, I mean, yo, Nergigante, he's very cool monster, really great design, solid fight overall, pretty tough fight, truth be told. I mean, I'm glad he's an Elder Dragon. Like, I think he's the only Elder Dragon that doesn't have a particular element or anything like that. He just kind of beats you up, and that's really cool. But that's pretty much all I really have to say about the guy, without actually rambling on and beating a dead horse about everything so far. I mean, he's just good. He's just good. He kind of reminds me of Zinogre in a sense, honestly, and that's what my initial impressions were. It was like, yo, it's Zinogre with wings. And I still low-key kind of feel like he's kind of like Zinogre, but with wings. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I know there's a bit more video left, but I really have not much else to say. I mean, I'd be beating a dead horse at this point. And I don't necessarily want to get into too many different other things in this video, because this video is actually just about Nergigante and my impressions on him. Maybe in another video that I have recorded, I can talk about the fact that World is like literally right over there, and what you guys explain, or what would you expect to see from me in the first few days of World, because those are going to be the most interesting, the first few. But yes, as it stands, it's been your boy. I will talk to y'all later. Take care.